Joyful Christian Hermit. It's Sunday and it's fitting. I think it's fitting that I'm going to reach the summit of my personal Kilmanjaro, and that has been doing this whole wall of tile up to the ceiling. Well, I have 2 inches up there. I'm going to put a piece of crown or some kind of molding because I have molding on top of there. These are going to all be painted. It'll all blend. And 9-foot ceilings. So I've these last 2 pieces to do. My neighbor Brian came over. He lifted in this big piece here, and he lifted in that big piece. Plus he helped me cut this piece in half, this other piece that needed a partial. And it's just been, these weigh at least 50 pounds, and with mud on, they weigh even more. I see when I was up there putting the mud up for the top piece that he lifted up in, I mudded it and grooved it with the notch groover. I had some accidents, so I see some mud in here that had dripped down that I missed before. And I want to get this out before, just before it dries so totally that it's not impossible to get out, but a lot harder if it dries, a day or something. It practically becomes like the tile. But, so, this is the first time I've worked with large-scale tile. I admit that when I saw this online over 2 years ago, this particular tile, it's very thick. You can see how thick that is. It's not quite a half, well, it's close to a ½ inch. The actual side isn't, but with the fluting, it bumps out to a ½ inch. It's very heavy, it's thick. I didn't realize, and I didn't even realize what large sheets it came in, 2 by 4 feet. Because when I saw it online, I just knew this was it. I knew it would go very well with pale oak and with white dove, which are the paint colors I'm using inside the house. Upstairs, the 3 bedrooms are dove wing. Just a slight variation of dove white because I like the name. Those are the priest room, all saints room, and the angels room. So white dove is the paint for the chapel, which is Our Lady of Solitude Chapel. That's the bonus room, in other words, but I have every room named in the house. So it's gone along. I'm putting these final 2 pieces that I can lift. They're not lightweight, but I can lift them. By the time you get the mud on, fortunately, see, these are the pieces. I have them ready, and I had to do fine trimming on them today because they weren't quite right to fit. I've got my mud in here. I think I'll have enough, barely. Made a big pot of it. Brian did come an hour and a half early. My daughter had just arrived to help me. Her fiance's gone, and she had an hour to help, hour and a half to help me, and got here at 3, and he showed up like at 3:10. I was just showing her what we were going to do, which I don't know if you can see it in there. I finally had somebody to help me nail up that long. It's about, oh mercy. Mercy did something naughty in here. About a 15-foot piece of trim up above there, so I can now put my side pieces on. But she did talk me into, instead of tiling backsplash and into the window wells, I'm going to go ahead and put wood in those. Wood or MDF I can put in the ones, I'll put wood in the one right behind the sink because it's splashing. Don't want MDF where there's water going to be on it, but I think I have all the little drips wiped off of this. I was going to show you guys, but it's hard to show you how to do it, but I changed to this notch. I changed to the 10 millimeter. It's about 0.6 of an inch rather than the 1/4 inch. So it's about 1/3 of an inch deep, but it's 1/4 inch between spaces. My other notched one, where did I put it? It's in my mess of stuff here somewhere. But I needed more depth up higher to really, because I made it plumb. Here's my 6-foot level, and I go along and put this up to it to make sure it's plumb and level all the way up. And so it kept needing to be butted out somewhat. The top piece we decided not to, just for better adhesion. It's pretty much plumb, but just slightly, you can't even tell by visual. So, and decided that was the wise thing to do. These little things go in, and then I put my little screws on. Once I have the pieces on, I'll just do that all at the end. These screw to help secure. I'm letting it dry very well. Takes over a day to dry, but this piece was dried enough from last night. I finished it up with the side pieces, and Brian had come over and did this big piece here. And I knew I wanted to do something special for him because Sean just sort of AWOL'd on the whole project. He was so excited about it. I don't know what happened. I may have insulted his grandmother because she has not been calling or wanting to come over or anything. But I also did tell Sean that it was really getting to the point where I didn't have anything simple, because this gets more complex, and it's sort of a one-person thing. And what could she do? She's frustrated with it not being done. My neighbor's frustrated. Everyone's frustrated. In fact, Brian, who is so calm and peaceful, at the end he says, but it's not finished. Nothing's finished. He says, why don't you just finish one thing? For me, that is not efficient. I tried to explain. Plus, I have to go with who's available to lift something like this, and then go with what my body's up to in any given day, or what materials I have. Maybe I have to go get something, but I'm not feeling well enough to drive someplace to get a supply. So I just go by the flow. The arachnoiditis rules it. I said, this is the arachnoiditis house. But I don't want to get all the stuff going for trimming. I like to do my trimming all at once, get into the mode of doing trimming, and then work on doing all the inner wraps of the windows. And I went ahead and finished that one with all the trim, but then I had to wait until someone came to help me get that big piece up over there above the kitchen window. It runs down the whole length of that wall. You don't even see the whole rest of it. And to help me measure on top of my bedroom. I had to even measure it. Then I'll need someone to help hold it up there. I think on that one I can get a board or something to try to prop it up, a long board. But it isn't just so simple. And it's not something that I want to just do one room. There's other things I need to do. So, yeah, so it's, in other words, bug off. Relax. That's maybe a better word than bug off. I said, I'm going with slowness. So I told him about my S's. And, I go slowly, gave him all 9 S's. And the one that is today is slowness. There is no rush. No big rush. I go with God's flow. And it's working out. I mean, I'm not upset with people. It's just sort of frustrating that I did make the statement, it doesn't bother me. So, but I can't believe how it bothers other people. I showed him the bathroom and the shower job, how beautiful that was that Brian did. There's Sean there walking now with his phone. Just haven't heard from, I did hear from him that he was busy and his grandma was busy. So thank God for Brian. And yesterday, God gave me a nudge. I had this very special rare tree that I got. I found it. It was only one I have ever seen in 6 years at the nursery. I have never seen one in my life in person. It's called White Sparkler. And Brian, one time when he came over, oh my goodness, I had left the keys in the truck when I was rolling down windows. This is how my mind gets with the arachnoiditis. End of day, starting to rain, pain high. Hadn't yet taken my 12-hour release for the night and through the night. And I left the keys in, partly turned to roll up the windows and didn't take the keys out, ran down the battery. Next day I needed to go to my physical therapy. There's my little red precious blood out there. And so Brian came over. He has a portable battery charge. He charged it. And he noticed White Sparkler. And I found out then that he loves gardening. Their front doesn't show it, but their backyard, he gardens in their backyard. And it's not very large, so I suggested doing a front yard, courtyard garden. And he might do that. He says, ooh, good idea. Because he was running out of space and frustrated. But yesterday I was thinking, now, well, I sort of asked in my mind, asking the Lord, what should I give him for doing this lifting for me? He's been over 3 or 4 times. First, he's helped me get the run the big pieces through the saw because I can't carry those and lift them through this and run them through the saw. Somebody else needs to be there to catch the piece, which was me, because he's so precise. He did a great job of cutting. And I messed up 2 pieces all by myself. So one was a nice cut that I did, but I mismeasured because I'm really noticing with this now, this year, my arachnoiditis is really affecting. I'm having way too many errors, and because I'm still on the same pain med dose that I've been on for 2 years, and it's not enough, frankly, but I would just as soon keep at that and just keep working and try to distract, use other means to distract, but I've made more errors. But it's just stuff I'm not going to worry about on my deathbed. I was thinking of some cash or something, and into my mind came, give him that White Sparkler, that beautiful, rare specimen tree. I even had a spot for it over in my meditation garden area, not the courtyard, but a different area, because the also rare umbrella pine, it's called, it has a scolidipidus, it died. The rest of it is dying. So I cut out the part that was dead and thought maybe the rest would live, but no, it's not. So it'd be a perfect spot for that White Sparkler, but nope. That was said to me, and it wouldn't leave me, and you'd have to understand. And I realized God wanted me to give what meant most to me that I knew Brian would love. So I gave him that White Sparkler today as thank you, and he was so grateful. Well, actually, I gave it to him last night, but today he said he had a spot for it, and he just loves it. And so anyway, that's the thing to do. I did not ignore that nudge, that suggestion, even though it was not so easy, surprisingly. But it wasn't terribly hard. I mean, it's not like I'm grieving over it, but I thought, wouldn't you know it? You know, God knows what he's doing. And it was just a little test of my detachment and also of paying attention and obeying his voice. So off it went, and it's fine. I missed it last night when I was watering because I couldn't plant it all summer because it got hot. I'd gotten it right before my septic shock incident with the ER and everything, so, and the hospital and ICU, so it got too hot then to plant it, and just as well, because I needed something to thank a man who saved the day. What would I have done if I couldn't get this last 2 big pieces up there, or even use the saw to cut this big piece? I had to cut a long piece in half, not exactly in half, 12.5 inches, plus a 1/16 on one inch and 13/16 on the other, to make it then level. So it'd be perfectly level going across the top. There will be grout down here, so everything all evened up then. So here I go. Anyway, it's been an eventful day, It's a Sunday, and we're supposed to rest on the Lord's Day, but I consider every day the Lord's Day, and I rest a lot on every day. And some days I'm resting 3 days in a row doing nothing but resting. And I consider now, and I have for years now as a hermit, that every day's the Lord's Day. So, but when if I don't have a project like that, and Brian was available today, this weekend, and Sean was going to be available on the weekends, but that didn't work out. God provided. So I took advantage with gratitude of who could help me and when. So, and he came an hour early, or over an hour early, and so my daughter didn't get to do much to help, but enough of the critical things I needed done. And she got to meet Brian, and she was sort of so-so about this. Of course, the grout will make it look better. But after he got that piece in, she goes, well, I think it looks pretty good after all. So she's my critic. She's my design critic, and did give me an excellent idea for the half bath, what I'm going to do with the tile in there. So different tile, but a different way that I thought of doing it. She likes. So, okay, getting to work. God bless you all. And God bless God, and God bless his day, Sunday.